So here we are going to discuss about the hardware specification of Siemens PLC. So generally, if you take Siemens, PLC, there are many models. So first I will explain from each and every models available in a Siemens PLC. So they will call it as series, Siemens PLC series. So what are the series available in Siemens PLC means? There is Logo series, S5 series, S7 series, PCS7 series. Like this, we have many series. So in that, this logo is just logo, that's all. So in this S5 and S7, we have this S, right? So this S stands for step, that is step 5 or step 7, like that they will call it as. And this step is again called as Siemens Technical Education and Programming. Siemens Technical Education and Programming. So this S in that S5 and S7 stands for step, and that step is called as Siemens Technical Education and Programming. And this PCS stands for Process Control System. So this PCS will be used mostly in process industry, that is very large scale industry. So mainly it will be preferred as DCS. So here we have many series, and in this we are going to discuss about this S7 series only. So in this S7 series, again we have many models. If you take S7 series, we have many models like S7 200, then S7 300, S7 400, S7 1200, S7 1500. Like this, we have many models. So if you take each and every model, so in this model, again we have many models based on the CPU type. CPU is nothing but the processor. Based on the processor, we have many models in this S7 200, 300, like that. So if you take S7 200, for example, if you take S7 200, in S7 200 we have many models based on the CPU. Like it will start with S7 200 CPU 224. Next S7 200 CPU. So mostly it will start with 2. CPU of S7 200 starts with 2. So here I am mentioning XX. So this XX stands for some number. Next S7 300. So if you take this S7 300, again in S7 300 we have many models. So it will start with like S7 300 CPU 312, S7 300 CPU 312C. Next S7 300 CPU 313. S7 300 CPU 313C. Like this, we have many models. So here also, this CPU model in S7 300 starts with 3XX. Next, if you go for S7 400, if you take S7 400 model, in that again based on the CPU we have many models, and that models will be starting with S7 400 CPU 4XX. And same way, if you take S7200, it will start like this: S7200 CPU 1212, 1213, 1214, like that. So here also the CPU mostly starts with 12XX, like this. Same way for 1500 it will start with 15. So this is how the different models available in Siemens PLC are classified. So here we are going to discuss about this S7 300. So in that, in S7 300 we are going to discuss about 313C. So here we are going to discuss about this model only, S7 300 CPU 313C. So if you take S7 300, this S7 300 generally is a rack type PLC, but in rack type also it is a different type called rail configuration. So I'll explain what is this rail configuration now. So generally in rack type we have two different types. So one is chassis type. One is chassis type. It will be otherwise called as with base plate type, and the other type will be called as rail configuration, rail type. So this will be called as without base plate type. So what is the difference between this chassis type and rail type? Means in chassis type, first there will be a base plate. So at the back end there will be a base plate like this, and it will be divided into different slots. There will be different empty portions like this, and these portions will be called as slots. So these portions are used to fix the different modules what we have there. So there will be separate arrangements here for fixing the slots. So there will be separate arrangements like this. So here what we have to do is we have to fix each and every slot in this. So we will have slots, and that slot should be fixed in this. That is, it should be connected in these empty spaces. And here mostly the first slot will be for power supply. Next, second will be mostly for CPU. So after that, according to our requirement, we can use, for example, this will be for digital input, digital output, next analog input, analog output. Like this we can increase it. So this is in the case of chassis type, that is base plate type. So we cannot remove the CPU and place it somewhere else. We have to fix everything in this base plate only. But if you take rail type configuration, what we can do is, first at the back end there will be a rail. There won't be base plate and all here. There will be a rail like this, DIN rail. So here what they will do is, they will fix each and every slot. First will be power supply, CPU, after that IO modules. Like this they will be expanding it. So what is the advantage here means, it is not like this base plate. In base plate we have to fix that particular slot in that particular base plate only, but here there is no base plate and all. So we can fix each and every module wherever we need it. So here first as usual power supply, after that CPU, after that you have IO modules, input output module, for example digital input module, digital output, analog input, analog output. Like this, according to our requirement we can increase it. So this is the difference between chassis type and rail type. In chassis type you will be having a base plate. So this is a base plate, and in rail type there won't be base plate, there will be a rail. In that rail only they will be fixing each and everything. And here, as I said earlier, this S7300 is a rail type configuration. So now we will see how this S7300, that is rail type PLC, is configured here and how it should be connected here. So in this S7300 rail type configuration, how it will be means, first there will be a base plate, first there will be a rail, and in that rail they will be fixing each and everything. So first will be power supply, second will be CPU. So this is the power supply, and next this is the CPU. And here in CPU itself there will be some number of inputs and outputs. In CPU itself we will have some number of inputs and outputs. So based on the total number of inputs and outputs, if it is necessary we can increase it. If it is not necessary, no need of increasing, we can just go with this power supply and CPU, because in CPU itself we will have some inputs and outputs. If that is sufficient for our process, we can just leave with this power supply and CPU itself. If suppose you want to increase the number of IOs, means after this you will be connecting a module called interfacing module. So without this interfacing module you cannot increase the inputs and outputs. If you want to increase the inputs and outputs, first we have to connect a module called interfacing module. After that only you have to increase the IO modules. So in S7300, what is the maximum means? We can maximum expand up to 11. That is, this is the first slot, this is the second slot, this is the third one, fourth, fifth, sixth, like this. We can increase till 11. So you have one rail. If you have one rail, you can increase up to 11 slots here. This is base rail. Now this is the first rail, and in this S7 300, even if you are increasing, what will happen is you can increase in one rail up to 11 slots. But you have another option also here. If that IOs, even after increasing up to 11, if you are not sufficient, that is, if total number of IOs are not sufficient, what you can do is you can add another rail like this. So in that rail, as usual, first will be power supply. The second slot will be left empty. So this will be not used. After that, directly they will go for the third slot. So the third slot will be IM, interfacing module. After that, as usual, IO module. So here also we can increase till 11. Now, even after increasing, okay, I will name it, this will be power supply. There is no need of another CPU because already we have a CPU. If you include another CPU here, this will be like another PLC. So only one CPU is required. This is IM. After that, you have IOs, IO modules. So here also we can increase up to 11. Next, if this is also not sufficient, what you can do is again we can increase it another rail, and again if that is also not sufficient, again we can increase another rail. So what is the advantage in S7 300 means we can add another 3 more rails also. So we can get a maximum number of IOs in S7 300. That is rail type configuration. Okay, this is the main rail. How this rail and this rail will be interconnected means, in this rail we have an option called IM. That is, this IM stands for interfacing module. So this interfacing module is only used to interface these rails. So how it will be interfaced means, from this IM there will be a connection to this IM. Next, from this IM there will be a connection to the IM present in this rail, and from that IM the connection will be for the next one. So IM to IM it will be interlinked. So since this CPU is connected with this IM and this IM is connected with all the other interfacing modules, every modules are connected with the CPU here, and this CPU will control all the other IO modules also. So this is how, if you expand this S7 300 rail type PLC, it should be connected. Now, as I said earlier, if you don't need these many IOs, you just you need only less number of IOs means you can just go with this 2 modules. That's all. Power supply, CPU. That is enough. Next, after this is called as IM module, and all the other IO modules are also called as signal modules. Signal modules. And other than this IO modules, that is other than the signal modules, we can use another 2 modules also. One will be called as communication module, and the other one will be called as functional module. So what are these two modules means? Communication module. What is the use of that means? If suppose this CPU is having only RS-232 communication, but you need Ethernet communication. So you cannot add that Ethernet in the CPU, but you can directly buy a communication module which supports Ethernet and you can add it in the slots here. So by replacing one IO module, you can add a communication module here. So if that communication module is connected here, this PLC will support some other communications also. If you are using Profibus or Profinet or Ethernet like this, there are many communication modules available for this S7300. You can directly buy that communication module whichever is necessary and you can add it in the IOs. That is, by replacing any one of the slot which is available from 4 to 11, you can include that here. Same way, what is this functional module means? Functional module will be doing some predefined function, that is separate function. Like for example, if I want to connect a temperature measuring device, so temperature measuring device output will be like, for example, it will be in some other range, for example 4 to 20 milliamps. Just assume that 4 to 20 milliamps is not supported by the modules what we have. So what we can do is we can buy a module which supports 4 to 20 milliamps and that can be connected in the place of IO modules, and that is only called as functional module. So it will be used for some predefined function, that is will be special function modules. It will be always also called as special function modules. It will be doing some special functions like this. So these are the different modules. First will be power supply module, next CPU, after that interfacing module, then signal modules, after that communication modules, next functional modules. These are the different modules which will be available in S7300. So now if you maximum increase the total number of rails in S7300, what is the maximum you are getting means, that is what is the maximum IOs you are getting. Maximum IO modules, what we will be getting is, we will be getting, that is in one rail we have 8 IO modules, that is starting from 4 to 11 we have 8. So in 4, totally we have 4 rails. In 4 rails we will get up to 32 IO modules. So these are the maximum you are getting up to 32 IO modules, and that will be called as 0 to 31 modules. We can expand up to 0 to 31 modules. So this is the maximum if you are increasing the IO modules. So this is the configuration of S7300 rail type PLC.